Hi everyone, it's Jen here from Tarot Spirit, here for your June 2016 monthly tarot reading. I am reading for Sagittarius. Hello fellow Saggies, how's it going? So I think I'm going to, or I know I'm going to do something a little bit different. Sometimes 3 cards for each category gets to be long and a lot, so I'm going to do 4 different categories with 2 cards each, plus a focus card and the bottom of the deck. So we'll do career, King of Cups and the Moon, home and life outside of work, Knight of Swords and the Two of Shields, relationships, Queen of Swords, Eight of Shields, and this last one is spiritual lessons or areas for growth and improvement. We have the Page of Shields and the Death card. So the focus card is the Fool. Excellent. And the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. So the card at the bottom of the deck is going to be either a subconscious, something, that's working beneath the surface, something we want to bring to the surface, something that's influencing the situation on a sort of foundational type of level. So the High Priestess is a really interesting card. It's very complex, and it's even, some would say, secretive. So sometimes when this card on like a very mundane level, if I was just trying to read predictively, I could say, trust your gut. Someone's hiding something from you potentially. So make sure you look for any red flags. But this card is really about learning how to trust your intuition. And, we all sort of have those gut feelings that sort of, we just get this feeling about something and then we talk ourselves out of it. Well, this card is really telling you to try to be conscious of those situations. And again, this is a subconscious potentially card. So try to really be aware during the month of June, any little feelings or red flags, and it doesn't even have to be, red flags, just senses that sort of pique your interest and make you sort of hesitate for a second. Like, don't dismiss those and put them away, because there could be something important about that. So the Fool at the center of the reading is all about, it's a leap of faith. It's a go for it card. It's a card where, you get to a point where you just have to go for it and take the chance, take the risk. And I really feel like, this could be taking a risk on yourself. I mean, there are so many things in life that you have no idea how it's going to work out until you just experience it. Relationships is something that, you don't know until you're actually really get to know a person, living with them even day in, day out, if you're really truly compatible. Yes, again, listen to your intuition. If you have a good feeling about someone, go for it, even if they're not like, your quote unquote type. But if you have someone that you think's really good looking, but you have these little gut feelings that, oh, that was kind of weird. That was kind of concerning. Why did he act like that? Listen to those things, trust those things. And that's going to help you to take more, I don't want to say chances or risks, because that makes it sound foolish. The Fool's not foolish. He knows that if he's ever going to, see the world, live life, it's going to involve doing things that you're not 100% sure of, because there's no way to be 100% sure of things without actually experiencing them. So really urging you to maybe step outside your comfort zone already and follow some of those inner feelings, those little voices that maybe have been, encouraging you, or, that little voice that says, oh, you should, go to Europe, or, I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking of anything. Or maybe you should take a class. Maybe you should apply for that job, even if it's a totally different area than you're trained in, or anything like that. These cards are telling you to go for it. I realize my candle's out. Do I have any more candles? I do. Okay, so in your work and career, we have the King of Cups. Whoa. And the Moon. So the Moon kind of is a little bit of a card that can carry with it uncertainty, and you can't really necessarily see your way clear. Things look very distorted and different when you're outside at night as compared to, out in the sunlight. So again, you may need to take a leap of faith in the work department. And the King of Cups would be telling you to follow what feels right. What follow, if you want to work in a place that has an atmosphere you like above and beyond the job, that's okay. You have to spend a lot of time at work, and it's okay to want the atmosphere to be emotionally pleasant and supportive. So even though it may, seem like, oh, is this going to work out if I take it? If you're moving into a situation like this, it's definitely worth it. Now, if you're in a situation where, things, again, it's that High Priestess energy, things just don't really feel right. It's kind of like you can't even necessarily put your finger on it. Well, trust your gut. And you may need to remove yourself from that situation, which may take this Fool energy again in order to accomplish. You may have to just kind of do it and just trust that, you're moving in the best direction for yourself at this time with the information and experience that you have. So over here is home life, or outside of work, I would say. So this could be hobbies, home life, any sort of things like that. And we have the Knight of Swords. So there's some sort of change in thinking going on, in thought process. And I think it's because things are really busy for you. And I really think it's interesting in this card. I'll try to go. You can see it's like these two guys are meeting on this bridge, right? And the bridge is up above the water. So it is removing yourself from your emotions. Water is emotions. Once I said something about water and someone left a comment, the hell does water mean? That didn't clear anything up. I apologize. Water represents our emotions in the tarot. So getting up above the emotions, meeting on calm, no one has the upper hand. They're both meeting in the middle of this bridge and sort of having a heart to heart. So I don't usually read this card that way unless I'm reading with this deck, but this is like at home, if you're juggling too much and you don't feel like you're getting the help you need, this is about communicating and changing your thought process. You may need to communicate to the people in your household, unless you live alone, that you need some help, or, really plan out. A very sword-like energy is very thoughtfully plan out the chores or duties that need to get done around the house, and having a heart to heart and seeing if you guys can somehow unburden each other, or share the burden. If you're living alone, look for ways to delegate, to hire the kid down the road to cut the grass, or look for little ways that you can hire a housekeeper. a house cleaner, something like that. Little ways that you can make some time for yourself so that you don't feel overwhelmed. And that may take a lot of thinking, because it may really be hard for you to think, oh, I don't deserve a housekeeper. I can do it myself. That would be silly. I can cut the grass. Well, that's fine, but your time and peace of mind is valuable, and lightening your load in little ways here and there can actually have a really big impact on your quality of life. So down here in the relationship category, so we have the Queen of Swords. So this queen, she's very articulate. She's a very good communicator, and she doesn't allow her emotions to cloud which she is communicating. So she can come across, some people can take that in sort of a negative way because they think seems kind of cold, but at the same time, you don't want someone like freaking out and yelling and bringing all sorts of emotional things into a situation, and that's not very productive either. So she would think that she's also very direct, because she would think that by beating around the bush or sugarcoating something is almost being dishonest. So it really is her integrity that makes her so direct. So she's a very trustworthy queen, because she's going to be honest with you. Sometimes the truth hurts, but she's not going to hide things for the sake of making herself look good or trying to take the easy way out. And then you also have, so what does that mean, Jen, in the relationship category? I think what this is saying is that to really try to look at things in a little more clinical fashion. And it's a similar, and it does sort of connect with that home message, which makes sense. And if you're in a relationship, and it could be just with your kids or your spouse, your family members, people in the community, really look and see if you can sort of meet halfway and have a very clear talk about if there's something that's going on, and try to resolve. Let's try to be mature about things. It's really hard, but that's sort of the energy. That's sort of what's coming to mind. Just be really mature and thoughtful about our communications, and that can be in a positive way too. I mean, if you have gotten to a point in your relationship where you want to maybe move it to the next level or express your feelings, to go ahead and say it. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Shields. And this card for me in the relationship category is telling you to make sure that you balance your relationships with your own free time. Again, mirroring that home message. Making sure you make time for yourself to unwind, to have alone time, to have time to do the things that feed your soul and that you really care about, and that you help you stay grounded and present. I feel like that's really important to have that balance. So any way you can lighten your load in other areas to make time for that, I think is going to improve your home life and your relationships on the whole. And then what are your spiritual lessons and ways you're going to grow over here? I'm going to skip right to the Death card. This is learning to let go of things that are no longer necessary, that are no longer helping you move forward in life. Letting some things go, whether that's delegating some simple tasks, letting go of a job, taking a risk, sort of letting go of how maybe you've habitually dealt with things in the past, and letting a little bit more, living a little bit more intuitively, living a little bit more in the moment, in the present, and going after that which is going to that's important to you. So I feel like there's a message of priorities this month, and clearing away. You have a lot of swords cards, or I guess we only have two, but the Queen and the Knight feels like we have more sword cards. But it's this balance between, in both of these, we had a sword and a pentacle card in the home and the relationship. So it's like clearing out the clutter, getting rid of any excess baggage, but also being grounded, finding time for ourselves and our own spiritual growth and enjoyment in general that we like to do. And then we have another very earthy card, the Page of Shields, the Page of Pentacles. So the page can be an offer, a new beginning. So this is a new beginning in health, home, work, family, spirituality. So I do think there will be some very practical changes that you guys will be implementing in June to help alleviate anything that just wasn't feeling right or was feeling overwhelming, and to make room for that which just kind of bringing in like a much more solid and thoughtful way of living that really honors what is meaningful to you, so that you really are able to enjoy your life more. And so there are some like really practical things like between the swords and the pentacles, but remember, it's all framed around this Fool. It's almost like you're setting yourself up to be able to then break free and break out and head off onto some whole new adventure. But in order to do that, you need to first recognize in yourself that that's in there, that you want to do that, and not deny that inner voice that's saying, I want to somehow find a way to go out west this summer and explore the parks, or I want to live in Aruba. I don't, no matter how crazy it might seem, if don't deny that of yourself anymore. Life is short. What do you want to do? There's probably a way to make it happen, but you're going to have to clear away some of those responsibilities that potentially we just take on, but aren't truly necessary or truly holding us back if we are really to examine it the way like the Queen of Swords. Interesting reading. So it looks like a really great month. Figure out what it is you need to let go and able to move forward with this beautiful, light, free energy of the Fool. So I hope you have a really wonderful month, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.